This is RUGS, Sit on Reptiles. In this game, you play as a baby, a baby, a baby, a baby, and a bitch as you run around like your head is trying to escape from its own neck, completing levels to find your favorite dinosaur, Reptar, which is done by collecting jigsaw pieces, and then you finish the 12-piece puzzle that's so easy, I got it wrong. Story kicks off with Tommy and Chucky, who are both babies, and the twins, Phil and Lil, who, according to the manual, are both fants. They're all having a lovely day stomping around until their mouths are suddenly replaced with stab wounds, and so to cheer themselves up, they head off to play with a jigsaw puzzle. But as it turns out, the real puzzle is having it in the first place. So then the adults arrive, Tommy's parents, Stu, and Fridge Freezer, who give us the idea that the pieces are all over the house. But once we find them, how do we pick them up? How do we put this jigsaw together? Within all of the 14 different levels, you need to be sick on yourself. We can't just leap straight into something this complex like we own the place. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to a man called Pickle. It's his house. And all of a sudden, by Christmas, we're off. And as soon as we take our very first step, the game stops and Tommy shouts,
"Messy!"
This thing is the other baby I forgot to mention, Angelica, or as her Christian birth name says, Fanny, because that's what she is. The training level is great because it tells you directly everything you need to know about the game, such as not all objects are climbable. But the air is. In fact, the air is so dense that you can climb up it and then run into it. It's very heavy this time of year. You can even go into the garden and play fetch with your battered, trembling dog, and it doesn't matter where you throw the stick, he will always go and get it and bring it back to you. But don't throw the stick in the sand pit, because that makes him angry.
Fetch!
And then a cutscene plays of Tommy getting bitten. The dog gets put down. Let's find some levels before I check myself into the institute. Get out of my house! Chucky's Glasses is the story about it raining outside. See? So Fanny, Hag, and the 4 scabs decide to play hide and seek, but with some twists. Whenever a hider is found, they have to race the seeker back to the playpen. And the seeker is Chucky, but he's been cuckied out of his glasses. Yes, Chucky can't see without his glasses because he doesn't have eyes. He has kidney beans.
Why can't I just find my glasses?
It's probably because you aren't wearing them, idiot. Now, I've not met many people whose eyes are 100% pupil, and I've not met many toddlers on acid, but I would have imagined that their vision would be affected somehow. So why does the game look like nothing has even happened at all? I can see perfectly fine. What's the point of this glasses plot device? Have I found a plot hole? I hope this isn't canon. The writers need to be killed for that. Mirrorland is the horrifying tale of Tommy falling into an old antique mirror and ending up running all over the ceiling where everything is all topsy-turvy. Balloons have suddenly appeared everywhere in boxes, shadows are casted upwards from the floor from your dog's head, and Tommy doesn't have hair anymore. He has the number 11. You run around and pop balloons, and then you win. To find the mysterious Mr. Friend level, you have to go down into the basement, and then when you turn the corner, you see that your dad is inventing a new wagon and a new wife. He also made Mr. Friend, and Mr. Friend is robot. How does one do this, though? By blowing them all up with cans. Honestly, I find this a nice positive change up to the formula. The cans here are destroying robots, when usually they destroy families. Eggant. Angelica wants all of the Easter eggs around the house and wants to get them all before you do. So she immediately then leaves the house and lets you grab all of them for yourself. And yeah, I found them all because I'm brilliant. Well, alright, I'm not brilliant. The cookie race is a race, but you're not a cookie. You're a baby. Beat Angelica from the top of the house to the bottom of the house, through the garden, into the kitchen, and take all of the cookies for yourself before she does.
Racing babies is boring.
Ice Cream Mountain begins with Stu walking away from his parental responsibilities into a hedge and then popping up for one single frame at the end of the cutscene after the hedge changed him. It's crazy golf. Who doesn't love crazy golf? Probably crazy people. Ice Cream Mountain isn't just your average garden variety pea, though. It's a whole bag of petit pois. It's a magical golf course where the ball hovers along the grass, children get paralyzed on 2-inch curbs, the ball suddenly decides to start moving in still images. The level then ends on a still shot of a load of brown, and then the cutscene stops moving while the dialogue keeps playing. I don't even remember what this is supposed to be, but I suppose if you're gonna play a victory noise on top of anything, it's a massive full screen load of brown. One day, the Pickles went out to the park, and then this mangy old drain on the family's resources decides to eat all of the potato salad by taking his teeth out.
Stop, you're scaring the children.
Yeah, alright. Then the dog steals his teeth and dashes off into a maze. Christ, man, what are we going to do? Play in the park! And remember, kids, if you want to go down the slide, don't climb up the ladder. Use the safer part and climb up the side of it.
Oof.
The maze is really easy to get lost in, because it's a maze and that's just what they're like. While you're in the maze, you'll also run into the horrible school exams that British teenagers take, geese. And they don't mess around, because before you can even sneeze, you're riding on the back of your dog Spike trying to catch another goose that stole two things of equal importance: Grandpa's dentures and a ginger kid.
Help, Tommy, help! Make him stop!
What does that mean? What is the goose doing? Do we need to cull it? We're culling it. Come on, goose, get a load of my licorice. When I was a very young kid, Let There Be Light scared the absolute piss out of me.
Let Mommy turn on your nightlight, sweetie.
And it wasn't because of her. It's because that in this level, you need to explore around your house in the very, very dark blue, while being chased by these. My therapist told me they were retiring soon. Is it my fault? These guys are great. Look at them. They aren't a solid shape, and they're ghosts that can't even pass through chairs. I mean, come on, what was wrong with childhood me? What kind of sheltered wuss lets that scare them? The only way to stop these terrors of the night in this early beta version of Doom 3 is with your torch, and it is one of the biggest load of feces I ever did see. First of all, it doesn't even light anything up, and secondly, look at the power consumption. Where did they get these batteries from? The bad shop. And if you can't stop the ghosts, be warned, because when they get you, they'll hurt you with the noises of a shuffling bookcase. This level opens up with Stu, the man who built a children's playpen with no latch, and the man who is so hardcore that when he needs to open a door in his own house, he just gets rid of it. Stu takes Tommy and Chucky to the toy shop one evening, and then bye! Oh no, we're now alone in the toy shop and need to get out. Once you get yourself out of that, you then need to switch on a Reptile animatronic to save yourself from this smelly creature, Thorg. And as the manual says, he's big, he's hairy, and he's out to get you. Like Kevin Spacey with a beard. You need to look all over the shop to grab reptile boxes, to then bring them back, to then put them on metal grates, to then climb up to the switch that then turns on Reptar. And we could use all of these boxes that are already there in the same room that Reptar is in, but then it wouldn't be a search for Reptar, would it, you piece of shit? After you've done all of that, the level ends with Reptar speaking to you like a customer service rep at a bank.
Halt, I am Reptar. Halt, I am Reptar.
And then Thorg gets thrown into a particle collider. He's dead!
Yay!
Tommy, Chucky, where were you?
I could ask you the same question! You all know that classic stereotype of the dad going out for a pack of cigarettes and a pint of milk, and then he loses his son in space? I know that one, we've all been there. But I gotta say that I've never been in that situation where I'm looking at the other child who has to save him and wondering if this is a fringe or an arse. What is going on here? Is this normal for babies in space, or is it meningitis? Have we done enough tests with babies in space? Do we need to send more of them up there? I think we should send more of them up there. I wouldn't complain. Look, they love it. The 7 Voyages of Cynthia is the story of Angelica's favourite doll, Cynthia, and the one voyage it went on. And this time, you don't play as a baby, you play as an old man's sock, and he has to dive into the sewers to get the doll back while making sure the entire sewer doesn't vanish into thin air. Spike, what are you doing? No, stop! Down, boy! No! Bad dog! You can't do this! You've been snipped! While you're down here, you have to watch out for a variety of things, like barrels of toxic waste, washing machines, and pipe steam. And it would be bad enough to have to deal with these furry rats, but no, you also have to deal with this new mutant breed of hairy rats. This game really loves its hairy animals. They're not a furry though, swear to God, they're a hairy. Don't check their computer. And eventually you end up traveling so far along the sewers that you end up in Egypt. The scariest part of being in an Egyptian sewer though, you have to try really hard to avoid their poo, because just like in real life, if you step in Egyptian poo, you lose your bone marrow. There we go, out of the sewer. Now we can find the doll in the fresh American air. But unluckily for Spike, he's an undercover foreign operative, so when he stepped outside, his thermal signal was finally picked up by the North Korean military, and now he only has a few seconds to find the doll and get back to the bunker before everything turns to ash. Spike wasn't fast enough, and now the supermarket is completely desolate. All there is left of this post-nuclear society are magazines with your own likeness stolen on them and a picture of a talking roast chicken.
Beware of mayonnaise.
Are you tired of walking on ice? Are you tired of jumping through fruit? Are you tired of unsustainable fad diets that make you lose half of your body weight and then immediately gain it back once per second? Are you tired of being told that there's only one incident in one aisle, and yet in every other aisle you visit, there are incidents in them? Are you tired? Try sleep. Are you tired of supermarket announcers sometimes talking through the tannoy speakers?
Larry, Steve, clean up in the bakery department.
And then turning invisible to hide behind your children and talk directly into their ears?
Clean up on aisle 8. Larry or Steve.
Then I suggest you go on a balloon ride, and for the same price as brain damage, you get to take those balloons directly to the checkout desk of a bakery in order to throw pies at 2 underpaid supermarket workers because it's funny. Even sadder, because of Spike's regretful choices in his past, the nuclear fallout has left some of the animals in a dire situation, including this mob boss lobster that's bigger than at least 3 babies stitched together. Circus Fannius pushes the envelope even further for this game. Every level so far has been its own minigame, right? Well, now you have a level that's 3 minigames inside 1 minigame. Can you believe that?
I'm gonna run!
In this level, the back garden of the Pickles house has grown all by itself, like a good boy that ate all his vegetables, and with that growth comes a minigame where your dog gets stuck in hurdles, a minigame with a tricycle being ridden by Fant 1 and Fant 2 that can leap from a standstill, and a minigame with Chucky scratching his ass on a wooden plank before being launched into a pile of leaves. Search for Reptar also features 3 bonus levels to earn more Reptar bars, to earn more puzzle pieces, to earn more of the ending of the game. They appear when you least expect it too. 1 second you've interrupted Angelica in the middle of a child beating, and then the next thing you're reliving the famine and disease of the 1896 Yukon Gold Rush, where you do manage to collect a lot of money as one of the twins, but in a heartbreaking ending, the other twin ends up with gout. The other 2 bonus levels are completely different. There's one where you have to run around and eat all of the cookies without throwing the box to your friends, and another where you have to run around and drink all of the milk without throwing the bottle to your friends.
You're sure you'll be alright with the kids?
Yeah, sure, I'll make sure his eyes stay in this time. Wow, what a busy load of day we've had today. The pieces have all been grabbed, the puzzle has been completed, we did... And so we get rewarded with the final level, Reptar 2010. Or Reptar Zulu. In this level, you move Reptar around and destroy absolutely everything with a stomp, a jump, a bite, and even a fire breath, with your main goal being to rip apart all of the offices of THQ and bankrupt the company a few years later. And yes, most importantly, you can still use the dogshit camera here. Look at this terrible, brilliant thing. I love it. And what is going on here? I think you missed a trick here, Jim. If your name is Jim, but you spell it like Jim, and your sign already has a G underneath the name Jim, then why did you open Jim's Garage when you should have opened Jim's Gym? Pardon you. In conclusion, Rugrats Search for Reptar is actually called Rugrats The Search for Reptar, and apparently it was play-tested by kids in a real elementary school. So my questions to them today are, how did you not spot any of this shit, kids? Did this school actually teach you anything, and are you all stupid?